Welcome back to the Green Means Go channel. It's your host, me, and today we are sitting down to do a review of the website known as SharpHunter. Before we get started, as always, for these videos where I review different products in the sports betting world, I need to set the stage. I am here to inform, not to endorse any product that I talk about. My goal is to inform you not only about the product, but maybe another concept or element of the sports betting world that you were unsure of before. Tools are not all or nothing, and we should not view them as all or nothing. If SharpHunter is something that is unique or useful to you, it should not be your end-all be-all in your sports betting data and research. It can just be another tool that we can add to our belt. And finally, I am here to give an honest review and not a sales pitch. So as we walk through this, I will mention some things that I think could be improved, and I will talk about things where I have questions. So as always, I need to establish those things so I don't sound like every other person in the sports betting landscape trying to sell you something. So what is SharpHunter? This is taken directly from their website. I will read it to you. SharpHunter provides advanced tools to analyze sports picks made by expert bettors, otherwise known as sharp bettors, in real time, utilizing betting market trends, action indicator stats, and sportsbook odds for better decision makings before you place your bets. With that information, they assign certain bets a sharp score. You'll see that in orange on here. Sharp score highlights the best plays or the best bets, making it easy to choose spreads and over-unders. Now listen very carefully. SharpHunter is very early in their development. Money lines and player props are not out right now. You may be watching this some months in advance. Right now, it is August 5th, 2025 at 8:22 p.m. So as of the time of this recording, there are no money lines and player props. Those are rumored to be coming soon. So if you're seeing this late, go check it out. Maybe they've added them, and I think it will be a very neat addition once they do. So we mentioned Sharp Score right here. Sharp Score is how they determine if a bet is worth placing. What is a Sharp Score? So this is also taken from their website. Using predictive data modeling and machine learning, AI, we constantly analyze the nation's most successful sports bettors and their key performance indicators, including but not limited to their betting history and wager amounts. And on their website, you're going to see different money bags. 3 money bags means it is an extremely recommended bet. In other words, a lot of sharp action is on this. People who know what they're doing are betting this. You may want to bet this. 2 is highly recommend, and 1 is what they call recommend, and I may even just call a lean. As I looked through their site tonight and saw a lot of 1s that I had some questions about, I would maybe say, look at 1s and then really kind of back check it. Do your own research on that. But regardless, it is a recommended bet. So in short, SharpHunter aggregates picks from experts and sharp sports bettors and tells you where that sharp money is. Now, here are my questions about this. How do they do this? Where are they getting this information? How are they accessing this? If they have this information, do sportsbooks have this information? Probably, and then are sportsbooks moving the line? Probably. Is that how they do it? They look at certain line movements and see. I don't have the answer to that. There is not a ton of clarity on how they do that. And if they told you, well, then they wouldn't have a secret sauce. In some ways, we have to trust what they're saying and doing behind the scenes is accurate, and part of that onus falls on us to maybe track some of these things and back check some of their information. But that is my main question. My other question is, what if a true sharp is using a beard or a runner? We know that a lot of professional sports bettors can no longer actually bet under their own name or with their own accounts, and so they use other people. How are those being tracked? If they've profiled a certain specific client or clientele, and no longer is that person making the bets because they have little minions running around making the bets, how are they doing that? Is it about bet size? Is it about timing? Again, I don't know these answers, but these are something that as a sports bettor myself, I do have a little bit of skepticism or thoughts on. So enough of that. Let's take a look at their site. Keep in mind, this is MLB season only right now, so there is a limited amount of picks, but I can see on their site they have NBA and NFL, and those sports will be coming soon. So you can see very quickly on their site, easy to read, easy to break down. We have the bet itself, the over-under here, and in this case, the spread here. We have the sharp score, which means they would highly recommend, or at least somewhat recommend, betting the over in this game and the under in this game, and a moderate recommendation to take Toronto on the spread here. Then we see these things called bet percentage, money percentage, and a plus and minus. We're going to talk about that. The bet percentage is the amount of public bets on that. So if 100 bets were taken on this total, 68 of the total bets were on over 8.5. The money percentage is the amount in dollars that is on that line. So there may have been 68 bets total on the over, but 81% of the pool of money is on that as well. So not only are more people betting the over, there's more money coming in on the over. So the plus minus that you see here is the difference in the bet percentage and the money percentage. So they are saying not only do we have a ton of action coming in just a volume amount of bets, but we also see big wagers, large money, more money coming in. 81% of the money is on the over in this game. And I can tell you right now, I don't know what the score is, but I do know Shea Langoliers has hit 2 tonight already. And I think JJ Blade has 1. So there's at least 3 runs already on the scoreboard. We'll see. Maybe I should have taken it. Here's another example. This one is somewhat unique because you see here we have a high percentage bet and a high money line bet. So these things are sort of related, but here we have something a little bit different. They're telling you to bet the under 8.5. We have 41% of the total bets coming in on that number, but 58% of the money. So what that tells me, as someone who has been around this industry a little bit, and how I can help you maybe understand this, is publics, typically public bettors and losing bettors, people who bet recreationally like to bet overs. It's just psychology. It's just mentality. We want to root for runs. An over is always alive, right? And so people bet over. So 60% of the actual wagers that have come in have been on the over, but the money is on the under. All the big bets, even though there are less of them, the bigger bets have been on the under. So the Sharp Score tells us, okay, this could be a good bet, because while we haven't seen as many bets come in, we've seen larger bets come in. So then I have some questions. All right, I said I was going to give you an honest review. I'm going to give you an honest review. I got a head scratcher here. And I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. I'm just saying it's a head scratcher. Head scratchers aren't bad. They're just confusing sometimes. We have Tampa Bay plus 1.5. And that's the side that Sharp Hunter is suggesting. 77% of the money and a little under half, 77% of the bets and a little under half of the money. Well, here we have a very small percentage of the bets, only 23% of the total bets on LA minus 1.5, but a ton of the money, 55% of the money. So here we have a difference of 32%, way less on bets, way more on money. What do you do with that? Well, if we look at what we did with that over here, less bets, more money. We bet that side. Less bets, more money. Well, now they want us to bet Tampa Bay. So this is where it comes down to the Sharp Score going deeper than just one signal, as they call it, or the difference in money versus bet percentage. It's not uncommon to see a bet with a high Sharp Score, even if the plus or minus value is low or negative. So here we go. Low or negative, right here, negative 32%. Tons of bets, not a ton of money. But this is the Sharp Score. So this is where I would suggest to anyone using this is to maybe track this. Notice these sort of discrepancies and say, wait a minute. Okay, it looks like there are fewer bets on LA minus 1.5, but a lot more money. Do Sharps like this? Well, they're saying Sharps like this side. Okay, so I'm not going to bet it right now. It's a one money bag anyway. So it's just more of a recommendation. But I'm going to look and see what happens tonight in this, and I'm going to make note of it. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to see the same thing. We got 87% of the money over here. But they want me to bet this? Well, it is the over. Public likes over. So this one, I can reason through a little bit more, but these are smaller bets because it's 40% versus 13, right? So I would take note of this, right? Take screenshots, make an Excel spreadsheet, right? Track some of these things that they're doing. They're providing you the information, and that is incredibly helpful and can be of use. But in some ways, it's up to the sports bettor to figure out how to use that data and information. I also want to point out, not all bets on their website qualify. You see no money bags here. You see different percentages here sprinkled through in and throughout. You don't know always what's going on behind the scenes. And I think that's part of what makes this special. If we knew, maybe we could replicate it and do it and they wouldn't have a product, right? But bottom line is not every game is going to have a suggested bet. Last thing we'll talk about is they do give out daily free picks. And I mean daily. Every day, They write up a blog post and they give you a breakdown of the MLB games and what they like. And you can see Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Now, I respect them in a mighty way. Year-to-date hit rate, 52%. They're winning 52% of their plays. They're down 13 units. If anybody's willing to come forward and say, hey, we're down 13.7 units on the year, right? They're not hiding anything. They got nothing to hide. It's all tracked. If you hit view here, and I'm not going to show you this, but if you hit view here, it will show you a spreadsheet of all, what is this? Nearly 700 bets that they've had in this MLB season. You can go through and look at them all. So anybody who is taking the time to do that and track appropriately and be transparent automatically gets a bump from me, automatically gets a little bit more respect from me. So good on them. I know how hard MLB is. I know how hard sports betting is. So a 52% hit rate, down 13 units. That's what, a unit a week they're losing probably. We're well into 13 weeks of the season. But I applaud their transparency and their honesty there. So quick review. And if you're interested in using SharpHunter, I'll put a link down there in the description. It's a tool that you can use to identify where sharp bettors are putting their money. That's the bottom line of this resource. I would use this as a complement to your practice and research. Do what you normally do when you look at an MLB slate or an NBA or NFL when we get there, and think, okay, here's kind of where I'm thinking. I'm kind of torn in this spot. Head over to SharpHunter and see, okay, is the public on this? Where may I have some biases? Do my biases align with the public? Am I going against the public? Where's the money in this? Oh, wow. Not a ton of people are on this bet. Tons of money is on this bet. That's how I would use this. I wouldn't blindly go to this every day and just go, oh, 3 money bags, let me put some money on it. I would use this in correlation, in connection to what you're already researching. I'm eager to see the expansion into money lines and props. Right now, I would say it's a little limited in the fact that they only have spreads and totals. I think a lot of people bet money lines and a lot of people bet props. So, it's going to be good that they add those things because I think most people are betting those things. Last thing I would say is I would, again, reiterate and encourage the tracking of the money bags. When you go through here and you have things that maybe are a head scratcher and you see tons of money, but they're suggesting this, they're subject, right? Keep note of this, keep track of this. See how many, okay, they offered 2 today. How did those 2 perform? How close were they? Did the game finish at 8? Did the game finish at 12, right? All of this data that you can collect can be useful to you in your own betting journey. So those are my reviews. Those are my thoughts. Check out SharpHunter. It is free. They do have a free trial or a free spot that you can get some plays. I don't believe you'll get access to every single thing, but I would encourage you to go see what you can get and see if you are comfortable unlocking those doors with a subscription. And again, this is not me telling you what you should or should not do with your money. This is me just trying to make you aware of a product and a service that exists and one that I think can add some spice, some use, some utility to your repertoire. Take care, guys. Love you. We'll see you next time.